Hi, hey guys, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am so sorry for coming on late. I mean, this is later than late. I'm so sorry. Can anyone hear me? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Can anybody hear me? So before anyone joins, I understand that we're already late. So before anyone joins, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, welcome to Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. This is the 29th episode of this talk show, and I'm so excited and honored to be your host this evening. And today, we are going to be discussing a very important topic, and that is leading yourself first. Leading yourself first. So before I get started, I want you to take this link and share with your friends and get everyone that you know to join. All right, it's going to be a brief session, but I promise it's going to be worth your time. Again, I apologize for coming on late. It was not intentional at all. It wasn't. So right on, I'm going to go ahead, take this link and share with my network and tell them that you're live. So if you're just joining, please take the link and share with your friends. Okay, you don't want anybody that you know to miss out on this conversation because it's a very important one and it's not usually talked about. And I wonder why. We always have people who talk about leadership. We have people who want to lead, who want to be in leadership positions, but they don't understand the place of self leadership. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. You don't want your friends, even your enemies, to miss out on this, all right? So take the link, copy the link, and share with your network. Let everyone join, okay? I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of you here who joined when I was absent. Wise Entrepreneur, good evening. Chido Prince, good evening. Silent David, I see you're asking what's happening. Nothing is happening. I just was unable to come on due to some reasons that were beyond my control. With Felicini, yes, I had an emergency, but I'm here now. Good evening to you too. Okay, I'm going to share the link right now. I hope you're doing the same. Good news, Innocent. It's good to join here for the first time. Wow, it's good to have you here for the first time. Our head of welfare department, Emanuela, is not around today, so I'm going to give you your own first timers Zuba and Puff Puff. Thank you very much for joining us. It's good to have you here. Welcome to Honest Conversations. You're sure going to have a good time. So relax. Um, you know, take a sip of water. We're going to have an awesome time. Udetine says it's your first time here. You're born. We only give to first timers, and it's Puff Puff that we give. And Zobo, but you can have your boss. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just communicating to them that we are live so that they can. Who is excited for tonight's conversation? Who is excited? Okay. Chido Prince, you're back. Welcome back. I seriously apologize for coming late. It is not intentional. It wasn't intentional. I'm so sorry. By now we should be rounding off. I'm sorry for keeping you late. Um, I'll try to breeze through our conversation here. Okay? Telling my Telegram people that we are live. Okay, so quickly, let me get started. We will be talking about leading yourself first. Leading yourself first. When we hear leadership, our minds immediately go straight to leading people, leading organizations, being the head of companies and groups and all that. But very rarely do our minds go to the most important aspect of leadership. Very rarely do our minds go to the most important aspect of leadership. I have no idea why this keeps refreshing. It's kind of distracting. Very rarely do our minds go straight to, go to the most important aspect of leadership, which is self-leadership. Self-leadership. It's important for you to know that before you can lead anybody, before you can effectively, because we have people who are in the places or positions of leadership, but they are not effectively leading. Before you can lead any organization, before you can lead any club or anyone at all, you must first of all lead yourself first. Effectively, you must do what? Lead yourself first. All right? So, what is leadership? What is self leadership? What is self leadership? Self leadership is simply knowing your strengths, it's simply being aware of yourself, your strengths, and mastering yourself. So, another word for me for self leadership is self mastery. All right, when you're able to master yourself, you can easily master other people, because at the basis of each and every one of us, we have a common denominator, and that is that we are all humans. We are all humans. You can easily, when you can effectively manage yourself, you can easily master your emotions. You can know how to deal with others, because we are not so different. We are unique, but we are not so different. And before you can lead any organization, you must understand the intricacies of leading yourself first. All right. So, self leadership, or let's say self mastery, has some branches. It has a couple of branches I'm going to be sharing with here, and I hope that by the time we are done, you will be able to lead yourself effectively, so that you can lead other people who are dependent on you effectively, and so that you can lead your organizations effectively. All right. So, part of self mastery is self awareness. At the basis, at the foundation of self mastery is self awareness. If you don't know yourself, I don't know what you want to lead. If you don't know yourself, if you don't understand who you are, how you function, I don't know how you want to lead. So at the basis of anything that you're going for, that is why I am all about authenticity, self-awareness, self-discovery, self-mastery. Before you can achieve any form of mastery in anything, you must be very well aware of that thing. So who are you? What makes you you? What makes you unique? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And look, self-awareness is not just about knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. That is just a very minute part of self-awareness. Self-awareness is understanding what makes you tick. It is being very much aware of your emotions. It's being present in your everyday life. It is knowing for real what makes you you. What is unique about you. Okay? When you don't know this, you cannot effectively master yourself. So self-awareness is at the basis of self-leadership. Who are you really? That's why I wrote a book, Who Are You Really? Because many of us, we have identified or defined ourselves by things that don't really define us. Things like where you're coming from, your nationality, your name, your tribe. Those things are not you. Have nothing to do with you as an individual. You are a unique being, you're a unique creature. And you must understand that the environments that trigger your stress, the environments that you function best in, you must understand the strengths that you have. You must understand the weaknesses that you have so that you can effectively seek solutions. Your weaknesses so that you can learn to improve on them, and your strengths so that you can maximize them. Your triggers so that you can take yourself out of situations that can do what? Make you stressed. You can, part of self-awareness also is knowing the places that you function best in, the conversations that make you come alive. What are the things that you're interested in? These are all components of self-awareness. What are those places that you go to, or what are those rooms that you enter and you are less of yourself? What are those conversations that make you feel less than? What are those experiences that make you come alive? You must be very much aware of all these things if you must lead effectively yourself. When you know these things, you can apply what applies. I don't know if you get that. When you know the situations that make you come alive, you put yourself more in those situations. When you understand the people that shouldn't be in your life, you know how to keep those ones that shouldn't be there at arm's length so that you can function properly. Okay? So what is self-mastery? Self-mastery is your ability to exert strong will against your impulses and desires to steer your future to the one of your choosing. Self-mastery is your ability to exert strong will against your impulses and desires so that you can steer your future to the one of your choosing. So, leadership is a path, would I say. For you to lead, it means that there's somewhere you are going, right? There's somewhere you are going. And if you must effectively lead yourself, you must be able to master yourself. And that mastery is being able to exert strong will against your impulses, against your desires, so that you can steer yourself towards the future of your choosing. A lot of us, we have dreams, we have goals, we have aspirations, but we are slaves to our impulses and our desires as human beings. You are a slave to the things that are natural to you. You don't understand the place of discipline. You don't understand the place of strong will. On a normal ground, your body is made to keep you safe, to protect you. Your brain is made to keep you safe, to protect you, right? And so whenever it is put in a situation that is unfamiliar, it tries to shut down. When your body is put in a place that you are not sure of, it tries to shut down so that you can be safe. But you have the sole responsibility. You have all the responsibility in the world to exert your strong will against that impulse, against that desire. Your body would want to sleep. After a long day, your body would want to sleep. But if you understand where you are going, you know that I'm leading myself to somewhere. I have a vision, I have a future where I'm leading myself to. And so I cannot afford to be weak now. I cannot afford to not show up for my dreams, or I cannot afford not to do the things that I need to do so that my dreams can become reality. You have understanding, and so you move in that strength. Is anybody getting me? Hello, Ijomatikta. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining. So where are you leading yourself to? Where are you leading yourself to? You want to lead your organization. You want to lead a group of people. You've not even led yourself. Where are you leading yourself to? Where? Do you even have goals for yourself? Do you have visions for yourself? Or are you just taking it day as it comes? Oh, I cannot come and go and kill myself. That is how many people have died without anybody knowing who they were. Where are you leading yourself to? To your vision, to your goal? What is your projection of your future? What is your projection of your future? Self mastery is your commitment to never ending improvement. Your commitment to never ending improvement. So if you cannot lead yourself, if you don't have a plan for your life, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have something that you look forward to as far as your life is concerned, where do you want to lead a whole organization to? Where do you want to lead a whole group of people to? So your self-mastery has several components or several elements that I'm going to briefly share with you. So the first one that I have here is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Many of us, we are quick to snap. We are all emotional beings, but some of us are more emotional than others. And if you must go far, if you must lead yourself to the future of your choosing, you must learn emotional intelligence. Many of us are high on IQ, but you are not high on EQ. I think it's a very popular term right now, EQ, emotional quotient and intelligence quotient. You're very smart, you're very brilliant, you're a go-getter, but you are very low on emotional intelligence. You cannot regulate your emotions. If you cannot regulate your emotions, you cannot lead yourself. And conversely, you cannot lead others. Because you always be quick to get on everyone's nerves. You are easily angered. You easily flare up. You cannot lead anyone effectively like that because you have not led yourself. That is why self-awareness was the first thing that I talked about. If you understand, if you're aware of your emotions and you can name your emotions, you can easily know how to calm yourself when you're angered. You can easily know the things that you can do if your mood is low and you need to do something that requires high energy and you're not in the mood. You know what to do. So I'm going to tell you a short story. I was invited somewhere to talk, and my host was taking a very long time. I was excited before joining the session, but he was taking too long to come on. And I waited and waited for a long time. And my edge levels dropped. My mood dropped. I was no longer excited for that. And I knew that if I should join that session whenever my host comes back, if I should join that session like that, my face will not reflect what I wanted to reflect because I was already low in mood. So when my host joined, I told him, please excuse me, I need 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes. Do you know what I did? I went off, I connected my phone to my speaker and I played some music. I danced because dancing helps me to be in a good mood, right? It increases my energy levels. It helps in the release of the feel-good hormone. So when I dance, I feel good. I just excused myself, turned on my music, and I danced for about 30 minutes or so. By the time I was done dancing, I was ready for that session. Right? So I knew exactly what to do. I'm very self-aware, and I know what to do to either put myself in some moods or to calm myself or take myself away from feeling some moods or some emotions. So you must be emotionally intelligent. It is not everything that you reply. It's not every negative comment or every negative feedback that you have an answer or a clap back to. You must be able to take criticism effectively. Take criticisms, shake them off, know which ones that are important or relevant to you, take the ones that are needed, and trash the rest. All right, so you must have emotional intelligence if you must lead yourself so that you can lead others. Because the truth is, people will always get on your nerves. Life will always test your emotions and your ability to handle your emotions. So if you don't even know what emotion you're feeling, you cannot handle it well. And if you don't know how to handle it well, you are going to be emotionally unstable most of the time, and it's not good for your productivity. All right. So emotional intelligence, you don't want to joke with that. The second thing that I have here is self-discipline. It is a component of self-mastery. If you must lead yourself, if you must effectively lead yourself, you must learn self-discipline. You must learn self-discipline. See, it is not all the time that you will get the emotion or the motivation to do something. You will not always be motivated. That is the truth. You will not always feel like doing things. For me, majority of the time, I don't feel like doing what you see me do online. But I have understood the place of discipline. Discipline and commitment to my goals, to my vision, to where I am going. I understand that motivation may not get me there all the time. And so I have to discipline myself, discipline my body, discipline my emotions. Now, part of self-discipline is not giving in to your desires. And I don't mean just your bodily desires. Part of self-discipline is knowing the right relationships to keep, knowing the right conversations to have, and the ones to not have. Part of self-discipline is setting boundaries for yourself, to yourself, sometimes even against yourself, to protect yourself against yourself. Because your body, your emotions, whatever makes you human is going to get in the way of where you're going. And it is important that you set boundaries that protect you from falling victim to your desires, of becoming enslaved by your natural tendencies and desires. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, please drop in the comments. Making sense. Hello, Israel Mwafo. Is this the first time you're joining? It's good to have you here. You must learn self-discipline to effectively lead yourself. Yes, of utmost importance. It's of utmost importance. So even if your body feels like sleeping, so I'm going to also tell you a story. I came back today. I had a very, very terrible day at school today. And I came back from school. I made something to eat. And I quickly hopped into the shower, made food, ate, and said, let me just rest for some time before I wake up, because I have exams coming up, I have tests coming up, thanks to ASU and their strike. So I woke up, I set an alarm. I set an alarm, and the alarm rang the first time. I didn't snooze it. I stopped it completely. But then my brain was already telling me, Chinaza, you have things to get done. You have things to get done. Okay, makes sense. I see your comments. You have things to get done. So I didn't really enjoy that sleep I had. I think I slept for another 1 hour, and then I woke up. It was past 7 this evening, past 7. And I told myself that I'm going to host this conversation. Ordinarily, I wouldn't show up because of everything that happened and a couple of things that I needed to do. That was why I came late today for this show. But then I told myself, this is what you need to do. This is the vision for this show. This is where you need to get to. And hosting this conversation is a tiny step towards getting there, and you cannot afford not to show up. All right. That was when I actually went on StreamYard to create, to schedule this session. I hadn't scheduled it before now. I had to back past 7 to 8. That was when I had to go on StreamYard and schedule this session just to ensure that I'm here. Motivation didn't bring me on here. It was discipline that brought me on here. I was in a session before I joined. I ordinarily wouldn't join that session, but discipline brought me there. So sometimes you don't give in to your emotions or how you feel. You have to pay attention to where you are going, eyes on the goal. That should be what drives you. Because if you wait for motivation, it will not be there every time. So you have to discipline yourself to show up for what matters to you, unless it doesn't matter to you. But if it does, you must not fail to show up. All right? So self-discipline, it's also important how you eat, how you conduct yourself in front of people, even when nobody is watching you. I mean, you must learn to discipline yourself, discipline your hunger, your thirst. Because these things that we think they're not important, they're the most important. Those tiny, tiny things, those tiny, tiny decisions, those needle point movements we are supposed to make towards our goals, which we neglect, they are the things that scatter our plans altogether. It's not really about what you do, it's about what you need to do that you have not done, that you failed to do because of how you're feeling, or what your desires are. Remember, your body will always try to protect you. Your brain will always try to keep you safe. All right? But it is in your best interest to focus on what matters, what is important, and get it done. Discipline is about getting things done. Yes, it's very wonderful. It is about getting things done, not about how you feel. All right? The next thing that I have here, which is another element of self-mastery, is stress management. I've already talked about this one. What are those things that trigger your stress? What are those things? So, personally, I don't like crowded environments. I don't like crowded environments. They make me very stressed. So I try to avoid them as much as possible. But where I'm not able to avoid them, I try to come up with techniques that keep me calm in those environments. All right. For some of you, your stress can be triggered by words. Okay. And when those words come out from anybody, maybe someone starts talking to you and talking to you, and you start having panic attack, or you start feeling stress, you feel your stress levels rising. One of the things you can do is to take a deep breath. All right, take a deep breath. Maybe taking your breath and hold it for some seconds. Release it through your mouth. Like, this works wonders for me. Like, you have no idea. It works wonders for me. So you can try it. Another way of dealing with your stress is taking yourself out of those environments. So if you are in a you're in an environment where someone is saying a couple of things to you that you don't like, and you actually can walk away from that conversation, you can tell the person, hey, can we come back to this later? I need to clear my head right now. I cannot sustain this conversation. You walk out. Okay? You have to set that boundary so that many people in your life, because you can't avoid it altogether, so that people in your life know where to draw the line and when to draw the line. They can know what to say to you and what not to say to you. Okay, so for me, when I'm stressed, one of the things that also helps me is dancing and listening to music. Not even music with vocals, just listening to instrumentals, maybe guitar or piano. Just sit back and relax. Sometimes also, one of the things that helps me to also calm myself down when I'm stressed is to play a rain sound on YouTube. I just go on YouTube, search for rain sound. I connect it to my speaker, and I'm good to go. I just imagine that it's raining outside. I close my eyes. I just feel it, and I meditate too. So you just have to find out what works for you. That is why self-awareness is important. I cannot stop stressing the importance of self-awareness. You must understand yourself, understand your emotions, understand what makes you tick, what tips you off. All right. So, and you must know exactly what to do in situations where you cannot help yourself or where you cannot take yourself out of. So, self-awareness and stress management, you cannot miss those. How do you deal with your own stress? What works for you? What works for me might not work for you. You have to experiment with different stress relieving types and know what works for you and stick to it. Okay, don't try to do this because it said that it works for her, so it has to work for me. If it doesn't work for you, it's fine. There are several others. Try them out. Because the goal is to efficiently lead yourself. And you cannot function properly if you're stressed. So you must pay attention to your stress triggers and your stress calmers. All right. The next thing that I have here is goal setting. Goal setting. So this is what leadership is all about. You want to lead yourself to where you want to get to, right? So many of us don't have goals. So many of us don't even have a vision for where we want to go to or where we want to be. If I ask you now, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Many of you will start thinking it right now. By now, you should be clear on where you want to be in the next 5 years. You should be clear on the things you want to achieve next year. We just entered the month of November. What do you want to achieve this month? Do you have any goal for this month? Do you have any goal for next month? How do you want to end your year? Where do you want to see yourself by year end, by December 31st? Where do you want to see yourself? January is coming and we will start the New Year resolution thingy afresh. But without proper goal setting, without a proper vision and planning, you cannot get there. It only be a cycle, and you just keep going in circles. So part of self-mastery is goal setting. Someone said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and that was very, very profound when I heard it, and I ran with it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't aim at or you don't take. So what are you aiming at? Try first. Try first. Someone says, man proposes, God disposes. Have you proposed first? You've not proposed first, and you're telling me that God will dispose. How now? How? You must learn to set goals for yourself and create actionable steps for getting there. This is not a goal setting and planning session. It is something you have to do for yourself. Go do the research. There are several coaches online that can teach you how to set goals effectively and achieve them. Okay? Goal setting, you cannot miss it if you want to lead yourself. Because you need to lead yourself to somewhere. And where is it? Nowhere. For many of us, it's nowhere. And you are complaining that the economy is hard. You're complaining that things are not moving well. How can things move well when you've not even set anything in motion? You are like a ship on free sail. You're on the waters, but you don't have a direction. You have nowhere that you're looking forward to. And you're complaining that you don't feel good most of the time. You feel empty. Look. The reason you feel empty most of the time, or the reason you feel hopeless most of the time, is because there is nothing you look forward to. There is no vision. There is no goal that excites you, that you look forward to, that you wake up to every day, and you're thinking of how to achieve there or how to get there. Nothing excites you. So give yourself a goal that is exciting and you see yourself come alive. Okay? Not motivation now. If you give yourself a goal that is exciting enough, you see yourself committing to it, because like I said before, self-mastery is your commitment to long-term learning or lifetime of learning. Self-mastery is your ability to exert strong will on yourself and your desires in order to steer yourself towards your future of choosing. All right? So you cannot afford not to have a future that you're looking forward to. Where are you leading yourself to? Leading yourself first. If you know where you are going to, you can know the relationships to have. You can know the people to have in your circle. So that you don't have to be under pressure to have everyone in your circle. It's very, very important, please. Very, very important. Just because, and I plan to make a separate video about this, just because everyone says that this is the person, this is the Messiah. Look, that person might not be your Messiah. He might be the Messiah, but might not be your Messiah. Okay? Just because everyone is all about, hey, Chinaza Favour is this and that. Look, it's okay if you don't agree or you don't connect with where I'm going. It means that you are headed a different place, and I'm not the person you need to guide you on that journey. It's not my message that you need for your journey. So when you know where you are going to, when you have a vision for yourself, you know the people who you need. You know the right messages to listen to. You know the right courses to take. You know the right books to buy, the right trainings to sign up for. Okay? It is of utmost importance that you know this. Goal setting, self-awareness, goal setting. You cannot miss it. Udetine says, I always look forward to your class every Thursday. Oh my, thank you. It's an honor to serve and to do this with you. The last thing that I have here, not the last thing, so not the last thing that I have here is time management. Time management. So people call it time management, but I like to call it self-management, because time is an infinite value, I would say, and you can't manage it, but you can manage your use of time. All right? You can manage how you make use of your time. All of us, we have 24 hours in a day. Elon Musk has 24 hours, Bill Gates has 24 hours, Ginobili has 24 hours, Edwin Dewa has 24 hours, Udetine has 24 hours, Favour Ofyong has 24 hours, Israel Wafo has 24 hours, I have 24 hours. Every human earth has 24 hours. Nobody has 25 hours, 27 hours, or less. We all have the same time, but it is what you do with it that matters. How do you manage yourself in order to make optimum use or effective use of the time that you have? You see people who say, oh, I wish there were more hours in a day. Look, if there are more hours, you'll still not be okay. You'll still want more hours. I wish there were 7 or 8 days or 12 days in a week. A week used to be 9 days, but it was changed. The calendar we use now is 7 days, and that's what the majority of us use. So you don't have it more than others. You can make use of it more effectively, more than the majority of the human race. How do you manage your time? How do you manage yourself in order to make the little time that you have in a day very useful for you? Many of you would scroll endlessly on social media I understand it is addictive. And even, this is very important, even when you are following the right people, even when you are consuming the right content, you can be wasting your time. It is possible to waste your time following the right people, consuming the right content. Personally, I sleep on YouTube. I'm a visual learner. I'm a visual more and auditory learner. I don't learn much by reading books. I don't learn much. So most of my learnings are done on YouTube. Teachings, videos, talks. I rather listen to an audio book than read a printed book. And read an ebook. If I must read a book, it has to be in print form. Yeah. So even though I'm on YouTube consuming valuable contents, I might be wasting my time. If I overstay the time I have allotted to studying a particular subject or listening to a particular thing on YouTube, I'm not effectively making use of my time, because that time is encroaching into another one, and before you know it, 2 hours is gone, 4 hours is gone, a whole day is gone, and I ended up doing just one thing. You must be able to divide your tasks, allot time to your tasks. So I'm a very spontaneous person. God will help my kind. I'm a very spontaneous person. I don't like routines. I don't like saying, oh, this is the time I'm going to do this. This is the time I'm going to do this. I feel caged when I have to follow routines. But if I must be effective, I have to learn to follow routines. I have to have a to-do list. See, if you don't plan for your day will plan you. If you don't make time to create how you want your day to be, how you want your weeks to be, every other person or social media and those unseen forces, they will plan your day for you. You will. Someone said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have a to-do list, you don't have a calendar or a schedule for your days, for your time, you will spend unnecessary time doing one thing or doing even useless things like scrolling on social media. So I follow people who inspire me. A couple of people inspire me on social media, so I follow them. But it can be bad and harmful to my vision and my dreams when I spend too much time consuming their content. I don't waste my time on social media watching jokes and, well, unless I want to catch cruise. Yeah. But majority of my social media time is spent reading from the people that I follow. But if I read it too much, if I read their content, if I consume their content too much, I'm neglecting other parts of my development. What time have you allotted to your personal development, to reading, to studying, to growing, to exercising your brain? What time have you allotted to your family, to your friends, to your loved ones? What time have you allotted to your emotional well-being? Because we tend to forget that our minds or our mental health is an integral part of our being. So you must effectively allot time to different parts of your life. We have the spiritual, we have the psychological, which involves your mental and your emotional health. We have the social, which involves your friendships and all that, your time on social media, your chat time. You have the time you allot for productivity, getting things done and all that. You have the time you allot to intellectual growth. If you're a student, you know what time do you allot to reading and studying your materials. If you're no longer a student and you want to improve your brain and your brain's capacity, you have to allot time to every part of your life so that no part of your life suffers because you're not paying attention to it, or because you're paying attention to one. Do you understand? We are all, every part of our life is on a scale. And when the scale is unbalanced, you start feeling less. You start feeling stressed. You start becoming unstable in your mind and with your emotions. So you must pay attention to every part of your life and give time to them. Give yourself tasks and be disciplined enough to follow them through. And there's something that sticking to your to-do list does to you. Now, when you do something, you tick it off your list. Oh, this is done. It increases your confidence in yourself. Has anybody experienced that? When you tick things off your to-do list, done, 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 it reinforces to you that you are capable of getting things done. So that excitement of getting things done or having done this one will motivate you into getting another one done. So have a to-do list that caters to every form of your expression of yourself, that caters to every part of your life. I hope that was clear enough. And the last thing that I have as regards self-mastery is positive, balanced thinking. Balanced thinking, I would say, not just positive. So it's positive and negative way of thinking. I understand that you like to be hopeful, but while you're being hopeful, you must also understand that things can go wrong. I have to say that one of the reasons people feel too disappointed when negative things happen to them is because they never anticipated it. They never expected that it would happen to them. Yeah, it's a possibility, but it's not my portion. Whose portion is it? Some of us don't even think of that possibility at all. You're in a relationship and you don't expect, well, you don't expect, but you are aware that things can go wrong. You plan your day, but you don't plan it with absolute certainty that this is going to go, because you are living life, right? And life will always happen to us. Time and chance happens to the best of us. So you must be balanced in your thinking. This is where I'm working towards, but I understand that it might not always go this way. So I have this understanding. Someone says I'm a Percy optimist, and I really like that. It's his own words. He coined that word, but I really, really love it. I'm a Percy optimist. You're an optimist. You're very optimistic about how life will go, but you also understand that life happens. So you make room for errors. You make room for failure. You make room for misdeed or misstep. You make room for your mistakes, because you I saw something on someone's story. Was it yesterday? He said, "Stop beating yourself up about the mistakes you made in the past, because you still make another mistake tomorrow. So how many times you want to beat yourself up?" That's the question. And the way he said it was really funny. The way the person said it was really funny, but I learned a lesson from that. You are beating yourself up. You are focused on what went wrong yesterday. See, a couple other things are going to go wrong tomorrow. Many things are going to go wrong now and even tomorrow. We don't pray for that, but it is what it is. You cannot change it. So why don't you just walk with that understanding and make room for two? Make room for error, make room for improvement as you're working towards excellence, not perfection. All right? That balanced thinking will help you to weather any storm. It will help you to stay stable in situations where other people are losing their minds. Because, well, I don't like that it's happening, but I mean, it is expected. It's life. Do you get me? This is an important part of every leader. It's an important attribute that every leader must have. Because when you lead yourself that way, you are stable and you can lead others. When you are now in a position to lead others, you can lead them with that understanding too. And you will not be easily flared up or angered, or you will not be stressed easily because you understand the positive sides of life and the negative sides of life and how they come together and how it's possible that they come together sometimes. Okay? So personal leadership is very, very important. When you are able to imbibe this, I've talked about emotional intelligence, self-discipline, goal setting, time management, well, self-management, stress management, and balanced thinking. When you are able to imbibe all of this, you can effectively lead yourself, and then you can effectively lead others. All right, so that is where I'm going to end tonight's conversation. I don't know if anybody has any question. It's already 10:30 and we don't stay this long. Again, I apologize for coming very, very late today. Does anybody have any question? I'll be here to answer them before we go offline. Before we go off, I'm going to give you the next 2 minutes to see if you have any question, and so you can have time to type in. We will be going. Okay, we're already 51 minutes and 43 seconds that I'm talking right now into the show, and I hope to be here by 55 minutes. I don't want us to get to 1 hour on this particular episode. So, do you have any question? Did you learn anything? Do you have any contribution? I am here to attend to all of them. Okay, so self-mastery, leadership. Lead yourself. Remember, it's not just about motivation, but more about discipline and intentionality towards your goal and commitment towards your goal. Okay, you will not always feel like it, you will not always want to show up the way you want to show up, but let your goal, let your destination, let where you're going to keep on driving you towards doing the things, or let it keep on driving you to do the things that will take you there. All right, I can't see any question, and in the absence of that, I think I will have to say good night. I don't want to end it and then see that you were typing and then I ended it. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 more minute. If I don't see any question, I'll have to say good night. Again, thank you for being here. This is Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour, and we host this conversation every Thursday by 9 p.m. Every Thursday. What do we discuss here? We discuss what issues bordering on life and how we can flourish in your personal life as an individual. We discuss those topics that you ordinarily wouldn't see discussed, elsewhere. We discuss those. We have those conversations that people are afraid to have. So if you have any question, you have any concern or worry that you would want to be discussed, or you don't know how to have that conversation, you can send me a DM or you can send me a mail. All right, if you have any topic that you want us to discuss on the show and we've not already discussed it, this is the 29th episode, so we've had a couple other episodes that we've aired. So if we've not discussed any of those topics that you want, please reach out to me. I am here to serve you. I'm here to ensure that I give you the value that you want, not just what I think is okay. All right, I have just 20 more seconds to go off. Thank you for being here. Hello Amanda, thanks for being here. Udechineye, thank you. Favor Ofiong, Israel Wafo, Ijoma Marianne. Who else do I see here? Ijoma Dicta, thanks for joining. Goodness, Innocent Chido, Prince Silent David. Thank you, everyone, and I'll have to say good night. Okay, Francis, I didn't see your comments. You were watching. Thank you so much for the teaching today. We'll have to watch the first 30 minutes as I joined late. Happy to have subscribed to your channel today. Thank you very much. It's such an honor to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed tonight's conversation and like the video. If you're watching the replay, please drop a comment. Okay, you have any question as regards what we've taught or what we've discussed here, please don't fail to drop your comments. I'll try to reply and answer your questions here on YouTube as much as I can. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful night's rest, and I'll see you next week, same time, 9 p.m., not 9:30. Same time, same station. I remain your host, Chinaza Favour, and this is Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. Bye, and I'll see you next time.